I'm impressed with this snake.
Yeah, that's gonna look
This
sick,
snake is
hanging
snaking.
down, like hanging down.
I mean, I'm just gonna do a little quick
Yeah.
pow. What? Y'all done messed up and let me come up with the soup. See, now I can recreate it. Right here, I'm prepared. They gave me all my supplies, all this stuff. So I'm totally confident to do your hair, service, all that. But had this been a situation where we're trying to find stuff at the last minute, I'd have been like, okay, how I'ma produce? You know what I'm saying? I can't. This is what it's like with just the lock and the content. But with the braiding hair, it gives it the thickness it needs to make the actual Medusa. Drying locks are very much so an art. You cannot take somebody with hair like this and just take them out of shampoo bowl without a towel blot. And usually when I dry someone's hair, I dry their hair until my towel doesn't have any water in it. So you have to have some strength to do this. So you're gonna wrap the hair inside of it and wring it in small groups. So you gotta imagine if somebody had like down longer, you gotta wring all of that down. So sometimes I use bath towels, like full adult towel, like towels. See how much water was still in her hair? Even though her hair looks dry. It's not dripping on her clothes, but it's still water in her hair. Ends are the most important part to dry, because this is where all the water collects. Her hair being this long, I normally break it down the middle and kind of wrap it on top of her head, almost like a serpent. Lay it flat. I'm sorry, and go the other way and lay them on top of each other. Basically, so when she get under the hood dryer, this all gets dry first. And these are the ends, the hardest part to dry. And once these get dry, you can drop them and then dry the roots and it's over with. So sometimes when you're coloring locks, this is why it's so important to do your strand test and your patch test and those type of preliminary tests. And sometimes when you're coloring locks, they reveal surprises that you don't know was in the model's hair. Like for instance, like I know she had faux locks at one point because the hair is still inside of it. I'm utilizing this needle tool, the needle as a tool to kind of separate her hair from the lock. You could also do this with a crochet hook tool, the single prong tool. It may be a little easier with that because you can actually grip it. But see, the strands are starting to come out. But you gotta sit here and kind of take it out. That's like part of it. All stylists ain't gonna do that, but I just feel the need to take it out because it does change the outcome of the work itself. Because this will never change colors. And we're doing a really vibrant color today, and I don't want to have any dark marks. One of the other challenges a lot of locticians run into when they're coloring hair, the space from the new growth area to the lock itself, it ends up leaving a dark mark. Well, this one doesn't have that because of the method and techniques that we use. So where we see her hair color change and this difference right here was darker, this is because she had previous color before. Maybe it looked like it started right about here. So I have to do a color correction to pull all of this color off her hair so that it lightens up to this tone in which it is. You gotta be careful doing this because one of the cardinal rules is not to put lightener in hair more than 2 times because it could compromise it. So I'm going to utilize our permanent colors, my blonding cream, and probably our copper series to our C series to pull out all of the blues and the dark tones that are still here in this brown. I want to pull that out. You run into these little challenges, and they just simply take time. Is that it? Did we get it free? We did. Whew, thank you. I'm doing divorcing locks too, but in this particular case, and you gotta be careful. You can't apply too much pressure because you don't want to sever her lock trying to cut the hair off. We got action. to create this color and keep the vibrancy of it, because red is a deeper color than this color that I'm using, because the sample color is more like a crimson. So we didn't want to take away from the vibrancy of it, and we wanted to match it up as close as possible. So I started with a yellow base, and now I can go in, now that it's a bright color, I can then go in and start building my green, my reds, and building them in a little bit at a time so it matches the tone of the locks. But one thing I do have to consider as well is that her natural tone is now a level 6 and 7. So if I'm doing that, I have to also consider the fact that she's gonna have a lot of yellow in her undertone anyway. And the way to offset that, I can use our plum series, which is going to give her a purple to offset the yellow cast, but then the warmth of the plum can add into this red, so it'll end up looking like the color of the locks. That's the sample lock. I am so proud of this color product. Like, I cannot believe just how spot on it is. I'm beyond excited about the outcome. I know Influence have a habit of coloring, especially our red alert is very vibrant and rich in tone. So I am beyond excited with the final color. And that true matchup really had me impressed with how far I've learned and gained understanding for color, because it wasn't a typical color. I had to customize it, and how close we got to the actual sample was insane. Almost felt real good about it. Actually proud of myself. So what I'm doing right now, I'm actually making a hair piece, the actual, I call them snakes, I guess, for the Medusa photo shoot. And these are artificial or faux locks out of the store, but I need to make them look like natural hair. So I have to manipulate them and treat them just like they're regular locks. So in this particular one, I'm making the piece to add. So I'm gonna need braiding hair as well so that it can be thick enough for me to put the Medusa. And I know you're probably wondering, oh, is it gonna be purple? No, you're not gonna see the braiding hair at all. We're gonna use that as the base. And I'm putting a rubber band inside of the hair. I'm just gonna do a quick little slip knot like this. You wanna get a rubber band with a lot of elasticity, because once you pull it through, you gotta still do a knot. I'm literally wrapping the hair around my finger so it makes it sturdy and solid. Now, if I was like just braiding somebody's hair down, I would drop my hands down and just braid, and it'd be a lot looser. But because I need it to be strong, I'm actually pulling the braiding hair up at like a 30-degree angle versus a 0. Because the higher my braid up, the tighter the braid is going in. The tip of it is going to show, and I don't want any of the color to show. So I'm discolorizing it by burning it so it'll turn black. Wow, I'm like mesmerized now. The makeup, the costume is dope. It's all finna come together. Man, I'm so happy I got to be a part of this project.
What's up, Influence family? Ralph Shaw here, Artistic Director of Influence Hair Care. I just want to talk to you all about a little bit of what we're doing today. We're doing a photo shoot, a Halloween photo shoot, introducing Medusa over here. We have Alicia Toole on the makeup. We have Kat Holmes on the photography. We have Miss Angelise, our creative stylist, who's creating the different locks and the different colors for our model over here. So stay tuned for what we have coming up.
I was telling Angelique that this is the most organized shoot that I've been to. I was very appreciative of them reaching out to me and thinking about me. I feel like this is right up my alley. Everything's just been running smooth, organized. They brought in the best people, best for my hair, makeup. The whole team has just been excellent.
This part is like important because you gotta introduce symmetry. Like you don't want to have one like lopsided. You definitely want to make sure that they're all equal. Okay, look at me. Look at that. Now this is where the magic finna come in at because I'm actually gonna build all of this and there's gonna be no tail. Okay, so I'm gonna have to actually stabilize this because what I wanna do is put these into each other and make it all smooth and polished. But in order to do that, I have to create a foundation. So lean your head back just a little bit for me. So I know I'm gonna use all my ones across the front because that's gonna be the piece that's gonna give it the effect I wanted to give it. But all of this in the middle now has to go in, and I'm finna show you how I'm gonna bridge them closed. I'm gonna actually put this to the side because that's not my front pieces. Now, if you're new to doing this particular method, I would use rubber bands. You could even group some of them up and close them in. You just wanna use the rubber band to like gather everything. So now my only challenge is now taking all of this and covering all of that up. So you can't skip corners, like cut corners with this part. Lean back for me just a little bit. And I'm leaving just enough room underneath all of this to put my locks in. More than likely, I was gonna probably try to, I don't know if you want them where they like, cause this is where they're gonna be at on her head. I don't know if you want them where they're like flying. Yeah, I could change them around cause the snakes can do whatever you tell them to do. They could just. Yeah, I gotta sew these in position so that way they don't move as I bend them. Opportunity, and not only that, the execution. Like, I have never did that before. First time, knocked it out of the park. It was him and all him, and I tell you, like as a stylist that's been doing this for so long, sometimes you kind of get like the same clients come want the same thing over and over and over. And so to get a chance to really create and like run into things that like make your brain work and using your creativity to solve problems, man, my heart is happy. Moments like this make me remember why I wanted to do hair to begin with. Yeah, man, I'm overjoyed. I want to shout out my model, Shamia. She really was a trooper through all of it. She held it down because this originally was supposed to be like a 6-hour style, and man, when I tell you the hours went on and on, but when we're in situations like photo shoots, we don't always get the privilege of that, right? And baby, when I tell you, to see it look like that, it's like beyond better than what I thought it would be. Like, I'm hyped right now. This has been the top photo shoot of the year for me. Influence, thank you so much for this opportunity. I couldn't believe I didn't say that at the beginning. Like, thank you guys so much. None of this would be possible without the call. Oh, and thank you for believing that I could get this done, because I had never done it. Thank you, Ms. Roz, Mr. Rudy, Ralph, the artistic team, Kat and Cap, and everybody a part of Influence. That's the family. I love everybody, all the national educators. I feel like I'm talking too much. Thank y'all so much. Everything was great. Thank you, Influence.
And this concludes our Halloween photo shoot. I hope you guys enjoyed the behind the scenes. As you see, it takes a team to make everything work. We had a vision that we had to fulfill that together. So I'm excited to show you what we have coming up next. Stay tuned.